fact, Veena, you're there. Okay. We can start, Guru. Let me introduce Guru to everyone. Guru is an IT professional. He is having total 15 years of experience in IT industry and total 11 years of experience in governance, risk, and compliance. He is also actively working on different compliance and frameworks. Currently, he's working on 42001, ISO 42001 actively, and other compliances too. So over to you, Guru, and will don't hesitate to ask questions in between if you have, and any discussions you would like to have are expected. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Swati, for the nice introduction, for setting up the stage as well. Good morning, all. Thank you all for participation on the Sunday morning. Good morning or good afternoon, based on the geolocations. Let's make it this session as a very interactive. So even though we have a couple of agenda which is planned PPT, so let's make it as a very interactive. So all the questions are get clarified. Okay, before we'll start, just to understand to your expectation and your background, just have a quick introductions about yourself. So what the role you are doing, or maybe what the expectation from the transition, what you are looking for, maybe if you are a fresher or a student, right? Just give you a quick introductions about yourself, so that will be very helpful for me to customize it accordingly. So you can unmute yourself, or you can use the chat windows as well. So whichever makes convenient for you. Just couple of minutes.
How are you?
Yeah.
Hi, Guru. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Thank you for asking.
I'm good as well. Yeah. So my name is Ravinder. I'm based in Perth at the moment in Australia. So I have done the Masters of Applied Information Technology in 2021. And later on, I joined the telecommunication company for the technical support. And yeah, because I'm interested in the non-technical part of the IT, so I chose GRC in the cybersecurity and want to make a career in this. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. So you are in the right place. Thank you so much. So we'll cover this. Yeah. Would like to go next? So if you're comfortable, maybe you can put it in the chat as well. Just couple of minutes, so then we will start. Okay. Let me share my screen. As Ravinder mentioned, right? So she is working in a technical role. She wanted the non-technical role. So there is a debate, right? Is the GRC, it's a technical or non-technical, right? So if you are going to be set up something, if you are working on to align the business objective, we need some sort of understanding and technical concepts. So even if you are someone is not good at technical, it's also good. Even if you are trying to learn the technical aspects, we don't want to the expert on this field. So how the firewalls works, what are the configure, how to configure it, but the same language, the terminologies, the technical techniques used behind that firewalls, the network security, the cloud security, those are we need to be learned for the basic understanding. With that said, let me share my screen. So we'll get into the today's session. Can anyone confirm the mic screen is visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Yeah. The today's session. So today's the demos. We will be going to cover the basics structure of GRC and some technical terms which we need to be learn the fundamentals aspects of GRC and what are the certifications, the roles available in this industries in terms of GRC analyst, the risk management, professional IT auditor. So based on that, there are a couple of roles availabilities and the certifications like CASAs, it's the auditing aspects, the C risk, come to your security plus. I'm just mentioning a few. Then where we can start the career, even if it's a freshers, you are planning to transition your career into the technical or non-technical role into the GRC. So what are the certifications you can consider? So we can touch upon this, those parts as well. So let's, as I mentioned, let's make it as a very interactive. Whenever you feel we need to get clarified, we need more clarity on that. Sorry, if your doubts want to be get clarified, just unmute yourself and question, ask your questions whenever it's arise. Don't need to wait for until the last moment at the end of the sessions. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's start. Okay, with the today's agenda. So it's GRC. When you hear the word GRC, what comes to your mind? So no more definitions and all. Just word GRC. What's your thought process? What comes to your mind? Anyone? I'm looking for your responses. There is a. I'll pick someone. Okay. So today you all attending this session. Okay. You wanted to achieve something, right? So you, maybe your objective will be taking the examination, or maybe taking the certification to get promoted on your organization, or the transition into the one role to another role. So governance aspects, let's make it as a simple example for this session. Okay, as you are attending, so what are the things we are be considering? So what you need to do, what you not to do, right? So the objective, my objective is learn maybe something learn new from the session today. That's maybe the simple objective, or maybe the continuous learning to improve my skills, technical aspects or non-technical aspects. That may be the one of the objective. Then other one, the certification to validate my skills. What are the technical qualification, non-technical qualification, or soft skills I have, right? Going for the certification. It's all about setting the boundary. So the objective, okay, this is a boundary. My final objective, I have, it's all about the setting the boundary in governance. To achieve that objective, so we need to have that structured process. So every day I need to spend 1 hour or 2 hours to reading the material, maybe practicing the question. Right? This is how we can take a step-by-step approach to achieve the goals. Right? To relate with the organization level, the governance is all about the structured framework, policies, process, and stage to align with the business objective to achieve it. Okay, so if once you have the boundary set, you have the clear objective goal on it, how you will be validating it? So we are on the right track, or maybe is there any deviation from the my plan? So we'll be evaluating it, right? I'm the right track, or am I spending daily 2 hours, or maybe I'm spending only 1 hour? Maybe even if I'm spending reading 2 hours, is it a focused one, or maybe just for a lot of distraction is happening around it, right? So it's about finding the gaps, deviations from the direction of achieving a goal. So we need to be identify it as quickly as possible, so which may reduce that impact. Maybe even if it's goal timeline is getting ended, so at the time if you are get to know something, right? Okay, this is how, if I came to know yearly, I would have corrected it before this impact is happening. That's what risk management has come to the place. So identifying the risk, analyzing it, what are the actions, controls we need to be implemented it, so based to achieve the business objective. The risk management is plays a crucial role in GRC. To move on the next thing, maybe, yeah, to move on the next, the governance. So let's taking as the same example, the practicing for exam, you would have the clear checklist, point number 1 to 10. If it's everything, if I'm meeting it on time, so we can achieve the certifications goal on the fixed timeline, right? The similar, like, the organization has to follow the law of land. So which is, if I'm in India, if you are in Australia, if you are in Europe Union, organization has to follow their regulatory requirement. It's all about the benchmark. So this is a meeting a minimum criteria to achieve that securities aspect, the achieving the business objective. The basic benchmarks need to be complied. It's abiding the law of regulations. It's maybe the internal laws, internal laws in the sense maybe local laws. And if I'm from India, I'm doing a business with the UK organization, collaboration with the UK or US or Australia. I need to be obeying that law of that Australian, Europe Union and US as well, to do the collaborations and business with that. If I'm not following that law of land, it's the violations. It may be organization may need to pay the huge penalty on it. Okay, so how will be ensured in the compliance aspects, right? That's what the continuous monitoring plays the important role, which may be the internal auditing, external auditing, or maybe the third party independent assurance. Maybe if I'm telling myself, okay, I have gone through the 5 chapters today, I'm good at training. To validate that one, my I may ask my friends, okay, you can pick any questions from the domain 1. Okay, if I'm able to answer it rightly, so I have prepared enough to go for the exam, right? That's like a self-assessment, internal auditing, right? This is how the complaints plays a role. So based on your role, so you can choose which role you wanted to take, you wanted to be in. It's a governance aspect, the risk assessment, the risk management professional, the compliance analyst, compliance managers, kind of things, right? So we'll go deep, we'll discuss in the upcoming slides as well going forward. Is there any questions so far, the governance aspects, before we go into the technical fundamentals? Yes, no? You can put it in the chat as well. Okay, let's consider as a yes. It's no doubt. Okay. Okay. Generally, let's map with the organizational structures, maybe, right? So first level, the enterprise architecture, enterprise governance. Okay, this enterprise governance will govern the overall business objective. Okay, to align with the organizational vision statement, mission statement, and all. So it may be the splitted into the multiple governance stream, which is IT governance and IS governance, which is information security. It's a traditional approach the IT team would have handled both IT and information security. Now the modern approach, every organization have the dedicated team on that information security governance aspects. So here the governance enterprise level, there will be the top management like a CEO, CASO, and board of directors, and the stakeholders. The stakeholders would say is business partners as well. To align with the business objective, they will set the direction. Okay, okay, this is what we need to achieve, that $1 million profit for the financial year or financial quarter. They will set the target boundary and the direction how they are going to be achieve it. So it's a strategic planning team will be there. So it's all about the leadership team. Then the management team will comes to the place based on the plan, based on the enterprise objective. The management team will make a plan. They build the projects and monitoring it to achieve the monitoring. It is a continuous process to achieve that business objective. This is a high level. Maybe if to map with, right, CAS, CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, Chief Technologies Officers, there are the high level professional C-suite level to set the boundaries for the organization. And then management, this manager, senior managers, compliance head, security managers, they plan it. They will plan it. Okay, how they are going to be drive that information security program. To help them, they have the team members like security analyst, vulnerability management team, the compliance auditing team, the risk management team. It's the collaborations. It will work on that high level. Okay. Okay. Now let's discuss the few fundamental principles to protect the information security system, information security aspects. So you will be mostly hearing the words, right? Information security and cyber security. Is there any difference, or is the both are same? Anyone can respond it. What's according to you? It's both are information securities and cyber securities both are same, or it's a different one?
Cybersecurity is a subset of information security.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for the response. I'm not able to find the name. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so cyber security, it's all about protecting and monitoring, mitigating the impact at the of digital data, the digital assets. I would say the digital assets in the sense maybe your digital applications, your digital devices, or the databases, or digital infrastructures. It's cyber security is all about making a plan to mitigate that the risk level to the acceptable level of digital assets. When it comes to the information systems, it's no matter it's a digital format or physical format, the data is in whatever the format, it's include the information systems. So let's how we are organization are protecting the digital assets. There were three principles like CAA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability, with the help of another core principles: people, process, and technologies. The people who is the one, the role we are playing, the humans, the valuable assets for the organization, right? Like for an example, in my 15 years of experience, I have been into the multiple role, taken the multiple role as a people, as a desktop support engineer, team lead IT, IT manager, information security manager, doing the vulnerability assessment management, and delivery compliance officer. These are I have played a various role in a different vertical of information system to map with the people. Right. I have discussed on people. This is a variable role like compliance analyst, risk manager, be security head. I'm not played the role, just I'm giving it. It's all about the role. And let's talk about the process. Let's start with the traditional IT process, right? Identity access management, IAM. What's the next? Any IT process comes to your mind this moment? Business continuity management. Anyone can share that few IT process. Instead of going one side, I would like to know hear from your end as well.
Maybe disaster recovery, incident management.
Perfect. Disaster recovery, incident management, or incident handling, or incident response process. Yes, perfect. Network security, cloud security, and end user computing security, and most importantly the HR process, onboard, offboard. It's not IT, so it's a general process. The HR process, joining, leaver, how the organization was spending to educate the people to improve their skill set, right? So HR process, joining, movers and relievers. And HR process, mostly the background verification process. Nowadays the hirings happen based on the background verification. Without it's also is involved the crucial role in the securing that organization, right? So the purpose, the employee joining, maybe if they have the good qualities, the skill sets they have, before onboarding it itself, they will be validating it. This is a few process, IT process, and few HR process I have highlighted. Okay. And what others? People, process, and technology. This technology is all about tools and techniques. Okay. So for a hiring process, they would have, HR team would have need a HR management tool, right? HRM tool or CRM tool, and salary processing tool. Okay. For identity access, let's take an example of IAM. The traditional approach is the Active Directory. Active Directory now is a cloud-based, cloud-native tools are there, right? From the AWS, Azure, kind of. And then for BCP, there are a few tools is available in market, right? Which is comes to my mind is the Auto BCM, and there is n number of tools which is available. So how to conduct that business impact analysis, the risk assessment for the business process, to calculate that RTO, recovery time objective, recovery point objective. So these are the two tools available in the market. And what is the incident response management process? Incidents management. So like SIM, collecting the logs into the centralized location to analyze it, to correlate that incidents which has happened across the network, and alerts need to be triggered to the SOC team, SOC analyst. The SOC analyst will validate if it's a false positive or the true negative. Then based on that, they will handle that incident. So SAM tools, what are the tools available in the market, like Azure Sentinel, QRadar, ArcSight. Those are tools which you can map. The network security, the firewall, the cloud native applications, firewalls, which VPC in Azure, right? Those are a few tools I learned. So what I'm trying to relate, to ensure that confidentiality, integrity, availability, it's need to be integrated with the people and process technologies. So what are the process we can ensure for the confidentiality, integrity, and availability tools? We also discuss in the upcoming slides. Any question? Are they clear about it? Any questions? Any doubts on this people process technology? Okay. Let's discuss deep into that confidentiality part. So the confidentiality, it's all about maintaining the secrecy of data, which is maybe the personal data, organizational data, is a business trademark secrets, right? It's the main objective. It's not to disclose to the unauthorized persons. For an example, let's take, if I have the data, I'm creating the list of users, participants today. Person A, I'm not able to see the name, just I'll put a name. Okay, person A, B, C. Here I'm created that list. Okay, how we are going to be protected? To implement any controls in place, first we need to know, we need to identify the classification of data. What data classifications? What type of data it is? Is it a private data? Is it we can share it publicly, or maybe is it a confidential or internal? So we need to be identify the data, classify the data, what type of it is, and who will the authority, right authority to classify the data. Who is the most authorized person to classify the data?
It's mostly the data governance team, right, within the firm.
Data governance. Okay, that's a great try. It's to specific its data owner. So there is a part of the data governance team, the data owner. It's the right authority to classify the data and what the actions need to be, to whom it's need to be extended, how long it can be retained. These are the actions taken, will be decided by decisions taken by the data governance team. As someone's mentioned, it's most important the data owner will take a major role. Okay, okay, so okay, let's take an example. So okay, this is the data. Okay, so we'll also discuss few technical controls to ensure that confidentiality of this data. When the data in the cloud, so it's a encryption, it's a major important controls in place. We need to ensure encryption. What is the encryption? If I'm telling it's encryptions need to be enabled, what is the encryption and encoding? Let's also touch upon this. What is encryption? Let as I'm writing it, hi all, hope it's you all able to read this one, right? What is what I written in this box? Just ignore about my handwriting. Yes, it's a plain text. Hope you all able to read it. Apologies for my poor handwriting, doctored handwriting. It's just a plain text, so it's a human readable format, but the system's machine will only understand the Boolean languages, right? Zeros and ones. Okay. This called as a ciphertext. The process of converting the plain text into the ciphertext, it's a encryption. To encrypt it, so there are several mechanisms also is involved. The encryption engine and encryption algorithm. Okay. To in the nutshell, the encryption is the process of converting the plain text into the ciphertext. So what is a decryption? So it's easy to guess. I'm expecting the response from your end. What is a decryption? I have given the symbolic answers here. Okay, we'll go ahead. The reverse process. The process of converting the ciphertext into the plain text is a decryption. Okay, again, to decrypt it, so we need to know that what algorithm is used, what the passwords secrets which is used for the private key and public key, right? So we need to know to reverse the process. Why I am telling this? So to ensure that confidentiality, encryption plays a major role. So most importantly in the cloud aspects, right? To ensure the confidentiality, which means we are relying on the cloud provider. So it's based on the cloud infrastructure is mostly handled by the cloud providers. So cloud users don't have the scope in the shared responsibility to ensure that their data centers premises. So it's our cloud users responsibility to ensure that encryption and to erase the data. Maybe if no longer record, so the data retention, maybe if the customers recommend or the regularity recommend, the data need to be stored within stored only for the 30 days, and 31st date it need to be distracted, removed it from the particular locations or a physical distraction. Even if you are using storing the data in the cloud, the crypto trading, which means applying the encryption into the multiple times, which encryption keys which will not be shared with the cloud provider, so they cannot able to do that reverse process of decryption. So we can ensure that data encryption, maybe confidentiality in the cloud. Okay, apart from that, what are the other controls we can place for ensure the control confidentiality? To relate with it, IAM, identity access management, we can ensure least privilege, which means based on the role, what are the day-to-day activities which are they are going to be performed, that level of access need to be given. The privilege access, the maybe admin access and other access need not to be enabled. So we can ensure that least privilege and segregation of duty. If I'm an auditor, maybe I can gain the access only for view the data, maybe view the process, not to alter it, modify it. So there are if you are in the network team, if they're intern, if they're the newly joined, right? So to know the process, they may enable it view access to understand the process. But if they have that access for that edit or configuration modification, there may be the curiosity to know the things, maybe without following the change management process, there is a chance to modify the configuration, which will impact the third pillar, try it, the availability, the downtime of the process. Right? There's a few controls we can. There are a number of controls. I'm just highlighted a couple of things, encryption and identity related. Okay, let's talk about the threats associated with the confidentiality. Okay, what are the threats? What are the implications if the confidential information get disclosed? How it is gets disclosed? The social engineering, the employee will share the confidential information to the social network, maybe without handling the tool, maybe trying to having the conversation with the persons, right? We'll try to gain the more insights about their business, what they are doing, what how the process works, we can able to gauge the password as well, right? So based on their characters, what they most like, what they most dislike, what are the places they have visiting so far frequently, we can, with the help of social engineering, they can gain the past credentials, which may lead to the compromise of confidentiality. And then privilege escalation, maybe mostly as we ensure that least privilege, the most of the organization nowadays implementing the least privilege for the endpoint system. Even the least privilege access got compromised, the attacker can gain that access of privilege escalations. So the privilege escalation is also threat for the confidentiality. And mostly the next one, the shoulder surfing. So without putting most effort, when we are entering the passwords in the systems, the person who are standing behind can able to gain the what password we are setting up, what password we are entering it. The once the credentials is getting compromised, there is a high chance the data getting compromised, the data is disclosed or maybe handed it to the bad guy's hand. Is it clear so far, the confidentiality part? I'm looking for the responses. Okay, let's move on to the next. The next pillar principle is integrity. To maintain that accuracy of data, whatever we stored in it, the database, the application, or maybe secrets, right, which is written, we need to be ensure it's not altered by unauthorized person, even if the authorized person without the following the change process, unauthorized changes, right? So even though if it's the authorized person, there is a high chance without gaining the change ticket, without approve prior information to the respective stakeholders, is there any change in it, it may lead to impact of downtime for the business, which will be directly impact the productions, financial loss, and also the reputational loss, reputational impact as well. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so how we will ensure that integrity for once we have stored the data here, right? Let me try to. I'm the list of data here. I have the list of data. Okay, maybe let's assume the database. On confidentiality, we discussed encryption and the integrity hashing. Hashing technique is a important thing, important characters to ensure that integrity. So what is hash? So maybe it's a one-way algorithm. For an example, I'm writing the same message, hi all, which will, the hash algorithm will create a one-way encryption, which means again the giving the number zeros, one, zeros, one. Okay, it's maybe mostly 16 digit. Maybe irrespective of the message, if it's a one paragraph has a 4 line or 6 lines, right? Even though the hash output will be the 16 digit. If I'm sending this message to the person B, to the person B has to ensure, okay, this message I have received as the message sent by the sender, or if it is altered in between the network transition. So how he will conclude it? So again, he used verify the hash value functions 0 1. Maybe I'll try to write the same value. Okay, 1 0 0. Okay, when he person B trying to convert the hash value, if the both hashes are same, which the receiver can conclude, okay, he is received the original message, it's not altered during the transit. Is there any slight changes in the message, maybe even the dot, maybe hi, hello all, then there is a different output from the for the hash value for the person B, so that the person will decide, okay, there is a change in the hash value, which means I am not received the original message sent by the receiver. So this is what this is how the hashing ensure that integrity is aspects. So to put in a simple example, right, if you are if, uh, if you are uploading any file in the OneDrive or a Google Drive, which will show this last modify, right, maybe today, yesterday, or 1 month before, it's all based on that hash value. Yes, the hash values has been changed on last week, so it's updated on last week. So if it's any changes in the hash value for today, yes, this file has been last updated on today. This is how can ensure that integrity as aspects. So why we need to ensure that integrity? There is a few critical factors we need to be considered to maintain the accuracy of data, the trustworthy. Whatever I'm sharing it's need to be a true reflection of what I'm sharing, right? If I'm saying something, if it is modified and shared across, right, it will not ensure the truthful what I said, right? So accuracy, truthfulness, and authenticity is mainly what the message I have shared. I'm the owner for that. I have to take a overall authenticity for that. Okay, Guru has shared that information, right? If it is if the message is not sent to as I mentioned, then the authenticity is not happen, that it has been compromised. Then validity, whatever the data we have, right, so we need to ensure that validity, how long it's may be valid. So sometimes we used to uh, receive the forward message from the WhatsApp group and other social media, right? So what is the validity? Maybe someone share that awareness, right? So incidents happen in this place, please be careful on it. But actually it's not a real incident which is happened today or at the recent time. When we search something, right, it was happened on 5 months, sorry, 5 years, 6 years before. That's not, this message is not to go, I'm not going need to take any action on it, right? So any data has a validity. Okay, what is the proof? Is it relevant to the current trend, current technologies? It's also matter. So that's integrity plays a major role on it. What are the threats to the impact the vulnerable impact the integrity of data? Maybe the viruses, if it's end user systems or network systems get compromised, it may the viruses may alter the information, it will give the wrong information. And the logical bombs in the sense, which will act based on that given scenario. Certain information is uh, met, that it will act upon. For an example, the date. I have a set of instruction to do that, but when it's need to be executed, okay, today is 13th July. I may set the time, okay, 30th July, this program can execute it for the advisory process, right? So if this 13th July date met, the virus will act upon. So logical bombs and unauthorized access, and most importantly that misconfiguration or any errors in this applications, any applications which organization develop or individuals develops, right, for the purpose. Any misconfigurations, like misconfiguration code, top 10 WhatsApp vulnerabilities, misconfiguration, broken authentication, sensitive data disclosures. Those are the few factors which will impact that integrity of the data. Okay. Any questions on that? Any doubt, or you'd like to add any point on this integrity part? Okay, let's move on to the next third pillar, availability. Availability ensures whenever the applications or services record, it's need to be there available without any uninterrupted service. Maybe you would have seen that scenarios, right? So when you are entering, going to take a money out of ATM, right? The most of you are seeing the out of services, maybe the out of cash in that ATMs, right? So how do you feel, right? So maybe we may get frustrated, we may blame on this banking services, right? So this will directly impact that reputation of that bank ABC, right? So how the organization reduce this kind of impact to ensure that availability? For example, the BCP, business continuity process, as someone has rightly mentioned, disaster recovery. If something goes wrong, as per we have the business process in place, there is a high chance it may end up with a device failure, software error, or maybe the environmental challenges, like power outage, flood, the earthquake. There is a chance maybe the process business can get interrupted. Even though if you are getting interrupted, how will withstand with the customers? What we agree to the customers, maybe to meet that SLA, and we have that adequate plan in place. It will be BEA, business impact analysis. So I'll touch upon this one. BAA, based on maybe I have the 5 business process 1, 2, 3, right? So which I am going to be give the priority to first upgrade it, right? So to avoid a maximum downtime. So based on the business impact, maybe the first customer maybe agreed to for 8 hours. So second one, it's 12 hours. It's 18 hours. So I need to first act upon for this business one to, it is a maximum tolerable time, 8 hours. So RTO, recovery time objective, not more than 8 hours, right? And if it is not meeting SLA, it will be impact on the financial part, the reputation with the customers as well. So how you are going to be, what are the process we need to be in place, like business continuity management, disaster recovery. These are a couple of things we have mentioned, and making sure every system's proper maintenance of every applications and network infrastructures we need to be considered. Yeah. So in the nutshell, so whenever the applications or systems record, it's need to be available to the end users without any interruption on the servers and the services. It most importantly very usable, not to make the complex process it easily usable and accessible to the anytime the users want to use or customers want to use it. Uh, there's a That's ensure that availability of the system. And one more threats to that availability, it's a DAS attack, which means denial of service. And another one, DDoS, distributed denial of services, which means I have one system here. Maybe let's take it as a consider as a critical application. The usual traffic, it's a 5 MB per seconds, maybe 5 MB BBS per second. But suddenly the traffic goes high. Let's take a triple this thing, 60 MB per seconds. These applications may struggle to handle the huge traffic, which means the users may feel the slowness, or maybe they're not reachable. The systems, these applications goes down. So it's maybe various reason, intentionally or unintentionally. Mostly that e-commerce websites, right? They are announcing the big billion day or prime days, right? So they scale up the process. So if the infrastructures have the 16 GB, they're going for the big process. Maybe I'm just giving a simple number, not the 16 GB. It's maybe more high. So they scale up the process to avoid the DDoS related, to ensure that availability. And other one, the distributed denial of services. I have that application. This system is get compromised. Let's assume he's a bad guy, attacker. He spoofed this application address. He will send the traffic from the multiple system. This is also called as a botnet. This botnet is under the control of this bad guy. Then this application will receive the traffic from the n number of botnet devices. Again, this system is not going, it's not able to handle the traffic. It's get interrupted, and the services which is not available to the end users. So how we can avoid this, mitigate this distributed service, denial of services and distributed denial of services? The organization go for implementing the firewall. Let's clear this one. Firewall, web application firewall, and then filter spoof filter. There are a number of controls, which means the layered approach, difference in depth approach. The organization can take their decisions to implement, to ensure that availability of the infrastructures. Okay. Any doubts, any questions on so far CIA, confidentiality and integrity and availability? Okay, let's test what we have learned so far. Let's take this. We have 3 scenarios in the slide. Okay, let's I will wait for your responses in a chat box. Okay, this scenario 1. You are trying to log into your IT resources, but you are not able to log in. Which pillar is get affected in the CAA? I'm not able to see the chat. Any responses over the chat, or maybe you can unmute yourself.
Click on more option.
Okay.
Chat.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Great responses here. Okay. Yeah, availability. Perfect. So let's go to the next scenario. Situation 2. You are intended to send a classified information to your team via the email, but by mistake also copy to your client. Yeah, we got responses. The confidentiality is. That's why we need to ensure that to whom the roles and responsibilities, to whom we need to send, what are the maybe top secrets will be communicated with the higher leaders only, not to all the team members. Yes, but trust, we need to ensure the open culture, but few business related informations need to be restricted to the only with the business persons. Let's move on to the third scenario. Third, integrity. We already started receiving the responses. Assume you are a cloud engineer and manage a cloud hosted data. During a night, the threat actor was able to get the right access and enable malicious record, and alerts were triggered and was reviewed to the next day. However, how were they able to read the data? So it's compromised that integrity. Yes, we are getting huge responses. Thank you all for the responses here. So let's move on to the next. Okay, so why GRCs matters? So it's as we opened in the first session, so it's all about the setting boundaries to aligning with the business goals, and decisions will be taken based on the risk which is identified, what is the gap, and to compliance with the organizational goals and regularities goals. It plays a major role to avoid the regulatory fine, which may be benefit for a loss of liability. And decision making. So nowadays we all take the decisions based on the data. So the most importantly, any leaderships, CAO, CTO, if you want to take any decisions, they need enough data in the hand to take a decision. So GRC's report, okay, governance and compliance report, okay, the risk management, we have found this level of compliances, non-compliances in our process, gaps in process, to scale up the process, speed up the process to avoid this any kind of impact on it. So we need to put the controls in place. It may be the technical control, maybe they're upgrading educating the employees and the process, creating awareness. So what kind of the decision they need to be taken? So GRC reports will play a major role, and to ensure that security posters, for example. So nowadays we will say the GRC, it's something, it's not about the security, right? But the GRC ensured the first benchmark is meeting the necessary requirement, right? If not, the compliance is not met, so we not go ahead to ensure that high level security. Like for example, the regulatory says SAM's controls need to be implemented. Yes, it's need to be implemented. That's a abundance of the regulatory requirement. How effectively it is used, how quickly the SAM tool detect that alerts, maybe attack compromise. Okay, this is how effectiveness in place. This is how effectiveness ensure the security process. So ensure that cyber security postures maybe is the maturity. To ensure that maturity of process, we need to ensure the benchmark baseline for that. So the compliances plays a major role to set up the common language across the organization. And the fourth one, yes, it's boost the confidence for the stakeholders, the business owners. So I'm giving the business to the organizations ABC. I need to be ensure how they are, how their process matured in it. Okay, how their culture on the securities aspects. Okay, are they doing that all the best practices which as per the ISM standards, the regularity standards, NAST standards. So it's a time taking process for me to go and verify the organization and then consider it, right? So that's where that auditing reports comes to the place. It's give that assurance to the your stakeholders. Yes, these are the controls has been validated, it has been certified by that independent authority. So it gives the additional value uh, to the stakeholders to gain the confidence. And again, the fifth principles. So even we have the different teams in place: HR, finance, marketing, or a technical team, IT management team, information security team. It's need to be aligned. So every team is operating on their silos, which will not meet that business objective. This governance is collaborating with the every team members, identifying the gap in it, which means okay, this first process followed, what's the next process IT should take care. Take an example, if the onboarding process, HR will hire the persons maybe based on their process, the shortlisting the resources and conducting the interview, verifying the background verification, and the time of onboarding, getting signed that non-disclosures agreement. So they will onboard the right set of people to that organization with the right skill set, the persons who match with the culture, right? So even if they are different culture, from the different cultures, the meeting the business objective, different cultures in this business culture, right? So one is from the service sectors, another one from the product services, right? So that's what I'm trying to mention, that organization culture. uh, Once they onboarded, it's need to be more, next set of people, process need to be moved to the IT to enable their digital access, providing that IT assets. So it's need to be, the process would be followed each other, right? So if everyone is working on silos, it may not meet that business objective. That's what the GRCs comes to the place to collaborate with the different stakeholders to ensure the business objective meet on time. This is a few real world use case. I'm not going to be touch deep on it. So the GRC process will vary different on based on their business process, the nature of industries they are working on it, and the nature of regions they are operating. It will differ. So here we have highlighted few use cases. If it's a regulatory complaint, for example, if you are banking in India, so they have to adhere with the RBI guidance. Their insurance sectors, they have to be aligned with the IRDA, and with the telecom industries, they have to adhere with the tribe. So these are the few use cases. And then HIPAA. So most of the service organizations operating from India as others region, if they're handling any patient's protected health information, PHI data, they have to be comply with the HIPAA laws, which is implemented in the US region, right? And then if it is a SaaS, third scenario, just a SaaS company. For an example, I'm giving the creating any application for HR onboard process, IT ticketing tool. Okay, it can be managed at the two different levels, as a SaaS product provider or a SaaS end users level. Uh, if I'm using the SaaS product, for an example, that Zoom meeting, right, is one of the SaaS product, I would say, for taking an example. Who is the admin to whom I'm giving the access to use it, right? So identity access management and ensuring the compliance. Okay, if the data session get recorded, where it is stored, is there any PHA data or personal information stored? We need to ensure that check that organization product that GRC aspects as well. I'm just giving the high level note with respect to the considering the time. It's a couple of framework which we can ensure. Maybe it, we are not it's difficult to one size fit for the other organization, but these frameworks giving the set of rules and regulations, what are the controls we can implement it. So organization can customize it based on their objectives. For example, COVID framework, ISO 27001 information security management process, and COSO framework. And most importantly, most of the organization plays a implementing the NIST, National Institute of Science of Technology, NIST framework for the cybersecurity framework, risk management process. There are plenty of frameworks which is available in NIST based on which standard, which process we need to follow. Another frame, these are the few other standards and laws. PCI DSS, if any organization handle the payment card data, they have to be adhere with the PCI DSS standards. So it's not a mandatory to do that. So for an example, in India, RBI giving a guidance to adhere with the PCI DSS, which when PCI DSS meets the most of that regularity RBI standards will be made. Again, if you are giving a product to the other region and operating from Indian also, we need to balance the both. For example, UA region or Indian region. So if PCI DSS will give the common goal for achieving the law of land, and then US as well, UK as well, right? So if you are giving doing the business with the multiple regions, multiple industries, so it's choosing the right set of standards which help you to reduce that time and effort, cost, the manpower, and all. SOX is mostly for the financial related information. So if you are financial organization auditing terms, BFSI sectors, it's also need to be adhered with the SOX. And GDPR is all about to protect the personal information of EU region people. So it's at least 7 principles like minimizing the data, anonymizations, right? The data storage. So it's plenty of a number of technical and administrative control there. They're mentioning in the article levels what are the technical controls they need to ensure if they are storing it, processing it, or collecting the EU regions personal information systems. So there's a few GRC frameworks which you can spend on it to gain the knowledge on it. There's the technical tools which I mentioned, right? People process technologies. So if you want to focus on the tools related, so you can try to learn the ServiceNow, RSA Archers, Mainstream, RiskWatch, or Gatewatch, this kind of tools, which is you can try to spend others tools maybe from the YouTube and other resources to gain the how the function these tools are functioning it, which also gives a high value to your profile. We have touched upon this, right? What are the roles available, the risk management and auditing, IT audit. So we need to we need a basic understanding of the technical terms. We know I would not suggest you to go expert on this all those aspects. Yes, we need to aware how the cloud functioning, what are the cloud terminologies, how is the AI is emerging, what is the AI technologies, what is AAM, artificial intelligence, generative AI, LLM, machine language, deep learning. We need to understand those terminologies in it. So if you are a, let example, if you are taking a IT auditor, so now you have been assigned to do the assessment of artificial intelligence management system, or maybe the organization which are developing AI tool. The projects as an auditor, you would have, you can be assigned to this to audit this process. These times, those times which basic understanding of those terminologies will help you to put the right question, asking the right questions. As an auditor, maybe the risk assessment professionals, we need to have that right, ask the right set of questions to engage with the audience, respective stakeholders to understand their process. Most importantly, the question should be in a open-ended questions instead of asking yes or no type of, right? So okay, what is the business objective, how you are processing it. We have to try to put that open-ended question. Okay, try to help me to understand how this product work. Okay, this kind of questions will help you to understand how the business works. Then we can identify the gap in it. Then we can suggest the process improvement to the process. So mostly the most important, the communication and analytical skills, the critical thinking. That's what we can able to find the gap in it. Okay, how it is aligned with the industry's best practices, the framework which we have referred it, right? So we can able to do that with the help of critical thinking. We can find that gap in it, or area of improvement. Then most critical, we need to be convince them. Okay, this is a gap we have identified. Okay, this is process not met with as per the standards. This is the action item as I'm recommending as an auditor. So as the process owner will work upon it, they'll take a decision. Okay, how to mitigate this risk into the gap into the acceptable level. Those are the few skills required for the GRC professionals. So jobs available in the market today: GRC analyst, compliance managers, which I touched upon, IT security manager, IT auditor, internal auditor. It's maybe it's a common designation, but the organization which customize as for their internal process, right? Internal organizational structures, they may have the different name for these roles. Yes, I'm going fast. Any questions so far? Any questions, team, so far?
Uh, for the non-technical, managers working in technical companies, what's the scope for in risk management, risk and governance? If let's say, if you want to take a career shift to risk and governance, for example, I'm not in education, but I have interest in risk and governance and have some overlapping experience and transferable skills. So what's the scope here?
Okay. To start with, I think it's a good question. So try to, as a, if you are interested in the risk manager, right, just have a thought process as a risk manager. No need to worry about the technical aspects. What are the process you already following are your day-to-day operation? Try to find the gap in it. Okay, how you can improve that your current process. Just think that way. Maybe it will give that critical thinking process. So that's where we can identify the gap in it. to improve our thought process. To
Guru,
gain the
just interrupting you, Guru.
hello.
Yeah,
Sorry.
am I
Yeah, go
audible?
ahead. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you could put some light on if somebody is shifting his career path to GRC, uh, how how easy is the way to go forward, or anything that you would suggest on that?
That's a pretty helpful
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what in nutshell, right? So I would suggest the career capital. What your strength on it, right? So you are good at communication, you are good at writing. Try to understand what the your strength on it. So when you are trying to transition from the one role to another role, no matter irrespective of GRC or technical and others, but what skill set which I have, which will help you to what the skill set which I'm the role I'm looking for. So try to identify those skills which will give the confidence to you. Okay, I'm not starting from the scratch. I have some career capital. I have worked on so and so years on this process, which is some sort of related with the role which you are looking for. Try to find out that one to for the first level. Then what you can improve it, maybe to enhance that one. So do we need any certification, or maybe I need to spend learn new things. Maybe if you gain the certification, which will give the confidence to the hiring managers, or maybe that hiring team. Okay, this person is very much interested on it. He spends his time to upgrade himself. So maybe he will be the right fit for this role, so they can consider you. Another scenario I can suggest you to transit the role. Just try to look for the better opportunities within your organization. Maybe you may be try to touch with your persons, right? The persons will know very well. You can share your opinion, what your ambition. Yes, I'm planning to do the transition. If he know the persons, your skill set, he may give that opportunity. Once internally, if you move to that role, you can work on it. Maybe you feel confident on that, right? So in the existing environment, so try to learn from the hands-on experience as well. Then we can plan it, move to the other out of the other to other organization. Hope
Um,
I answered your questions.
uh, just as a follow-up, so my career and many of my colleagues have strong overlap with the risk aspect, risk and governance aspect, and
Okay.
to show my commitment towards this, I have also done ISO 31000 risk management certification from PECB Canada. So what
Okay.
further action can help increase my prospects for a career in risk and governance? Because I also understand that risk that ISO 31000 is generic in nature. It's not specific to any domain, and like other certifications. So what further action, concrete action would you recommend for me to for
Okay.
us to pursue?
Okay, that's good. So already, already whatever the suggestion I recommended, you already plays the role. So you gain the certification as well. My understanding, you would have learned that theoretical knowledge, theoretical skill set, basic understanding how that risk management life cycle works. But to extend one step again, try to practice it. Maybe you can try to create a one risk register, try to map with any process on it. So capture that what is the risk, maybe right to the identity access management or network related. Just don't need to look for a enterprise level. Just think about your home network. Maybe for example, you would have used any internet service provider, couple of endpoint system, mobile devices. Just think like that as a network architecture. Yes, one firewall, maybe ISP modem to endpoint devices. Try to think, map with the network architecture, how it is connecting, how it is data flowing, and try to map with the risk management process. Okay, what is the risk on it? What is the impact level? What is the probability of it? Who is the responsible person? Thus you can write your own risk register and try to cover the risk report. So that's how we can practice it to do that hands-on experience on it. Just take a simple small assessment to do to learn that hands-on experience. Or maybe you can
Okay, thank
interact
you.
with the person who are in your organization, maybe the colleague, how exactly the process what they are doing. Try to sit with them to understand the process. Not telling to disclose the confidential information. That's the learning the process will help you to sitting with your colleague also.
Thank you.
Guru,
Hope
Thank
it makes.
yeah. We have one more question, that any certification you would like to suggest them, because probably they are changing the career path. There is a transition, so maybe it should align with their earlier experience and the new role that they are looking for in GRC. And the question is, also GRC is a role majorly covering security, cybersecurity areas and associated to risk and compliance. Although governance is generic, uh, overall, including data governance and other, but its focus is on security. Yes, I guess the focus is on the security only and
Perfect.
getting
Perfect.
compliant. I mean, getting
Uh,
your organization compliant.
yeah.
So,
Thanks, Swati. Yeah, I understand the question. So the certification aspect for the persons, right? If I choose any certification, maybe I'll maybe one-sided for the certification, but the context of the person where they are standing, maybe if they are entry level, mid level, or senior level, or maybe based on their knowledge, which role they want. First, they need to choose. Okay, I wanted to be the risk management team, or risk analyst, or the network security, cloud security. Just they need to identify which role they wanted to be there. That's we discussed, right? The people to whom the which role they wanted to be. Just identify that one. Then understand, identify their skill set. If it's a beginner, so I would suggest come to your security plus ethical hacking, security analyst. If it's entry level, the SOC analyst, GRC analyst, this kind of role, security plus ethical hacking, SOC analyst role. This set of certification will help them for the entry level. For the mid level, security ISMS lead auditor, lead implementer. This role, lead auditor and lead implementer, will also helpful for the entry level as well. And for a mid level, they can also consider ISMS lead auditor, lead implementer, and then certified information system auditor, CASM, certified information security manager. Yeah, specifically the security aspects is focused, right? So the CASM will cover the managerial aspects and the security aspects as well. And next, the CASSP, it's also a good certifications which will cover the most technical part, but think like a manager. You learn the all most of the technical terms uh, to align with the business. Maybe it will test you their critical thinking, decision making. Most important, the decision making. When the leaderships will, as I mentioned, right, leadership will take a decision based on the data. Sometimes we need leadership will take a decision based on the criticality, quickly how quickly they can take a responsibility, right? This kind of CASM and CASSP will help you in the mid-level careers. Even if you are not I'm not suggesting you to go for the certification immediately, but by this collect this material for the CASM and CASSP, start reading it, maybe daily basis. Just have a habit of 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours based on your work life balance. Start having the habit of continuous reading. Definitely will help you to reach that the certification, CASM and CASP. But lead auditor, lead implementer, I would suggest maybe more than 1 month is sufficient to go for to crack the certification. And CASA, if you are auditor, even if you are planning for the securities aspect, also will help you. CA certified information auditor certificate will help you to how to interact with the external auditor. Maybe if you are a implementer, security implementer, you will have that security by design in that thought process. Maybe I'm implementing on control, implementing on process. If I'm considering, okay, once I'm implemented the control, it's third party auditor will come and audit this one, right? So they will find a gap in it. If you have the skill set and this first secure design aspects as well, you can avoid this gap in from the implementation aspects as well. So in the nutshell, for the beginner, CompTIA, Security Plus, ethical hacking, security analyst, I would suggest. In addition to that, lead auditor, ISMS lead auditor and lead implementer. For the mid-level, CASM, CASA, CASSP and C-Risk, I would suggest. So senior level, it's all about the thought process, and then based on their soft skills, the networking, how the ability of influencing the people. It's all about, which will take you to the senior level. The collaboration with the team, collaboration with the tech stakeholders, influencing the stakeholders, gaining the business value. This kind of soft skills will take you to the C-suite level.
Yeah.
Hope I
I
answered
would
your
like,
questions.
yeah. I would like to add small suggestion over here. ISO, as you have suggested, it would be good to go with one ISMS, that is ISO 27001, either LI or LA. Go with LI first, because LA you have to pass the exam also. LI don't have any as such certification body who is certifying. If you are doing course with any institute, they would give you the course completion and LI certification accordingly. Second thing, when you apply for these roles like GRC analyst, risk manager, and all those risk analyst and all, as an entry level, when you're thinking of transitioning, employer will always come up with a list of compliance and frameworks you should be knowing. So they comes with PCI DSS, they comes with SOX, GDPR for sure, and NIST. So these are the some frameworks that they would be looking for any candidate to have knowledge of. So probably along with ISO 27001, you need to have the knowledge of these frameworks too, how it works, and how things are getting implemented for these frameworks. So if you are implementing risk management, how it is happening in PCI DSS, how it is happening in GDPR, how it is happening in NIST. So you should have that knowledge, because then when it is mentioned in the JD, you probably have to answer their questions, and the employer is also looking for those terminologies, keywords in your resume too. So just don't go with one of the certification. Try to explore other frameworks too, because everybody is working in each industry. Not a single company is working in a particular industry. They're always having projects from multiple industries and across the globe, so they have to follow the land of the law. So you must know, as in entry level you know into GRC. Okay, we have one more question.
Yeah, thanks for adding, Swati. Yeah.
What are the market salary brand for all three levels? Okay, it will vary.
It's
Maybe Guru will have more I mean, good answer to this. He is CISSP certified, so he has seen more of the industries than me.
okay. I think it's a, a very hypothetical question. There is no fixed number for the salary level as well. But entry level, maybe I would suggest 6 to 7 lakhs. That's a basic, I would suggest. But it will vary based on the organization. Maybe if you are choosing for the big four, what I'm suggesting the number will work. But if it's a small organization, it's a startup, it will not work. So if you are very eager to learn it, so we can take up the role, but we need to be consider the financial aspects as well role, right? So very established companies are big four on IT legends. So I would suggest that's what the numbers which I hear from my mentees and other friends, which is around 6 to 7 lakhs at the entry level. For the mid level, there is a range for the every organization. For example, 7 to 12, 7 to 30. It vary. Few organization which will give the based on their current CTC with 30 percentage, 40 percentage hike if you are trying to shift. A few organization they have the standard. Even if you are getting at 7 lakhs, their standard, if it's for the roles of 14 lakhs, 15 lakhs, they are ready to offer. But it's not one fit for that all the organization. But there is a range between the range is available for each organization. When we are interview schedules, we are going to give that training to that organization. Try to explore into the Cura and other platform to find out the salary range. Hope I answered your questions.
Yeah. Macpina, you're there?
Yes, Swati.
Yeah. Would you like
It's
to
all
add?
about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yep. Are we going to cover any tools as such or any risk registers while we go over the syllabus?
Tools we won't be covering because
Mm-hmm.
they are all paid versions. So
Right.
probably if I have to include that,
Templates.
then I have to include in your fees too. So
Okay.
not,
Yeah.
but
But we'll getting the templates as such for the
yeah,
risk management.
templates you'll get, and the practical, I mean the exercises you'll get to solve at home, and
Okay.
it would be explained during the training too. And
Mm-hmm.
internship is also there, so you'll get some real-time projects also, and some tasks. Though it is a full-time internship, we love our candidates to have full-time internship with the partner company, but I would understand that everybody is coming from the current job and all those things, so it won't be possible for them to contribute full-time. So we have uh, turned into a different model, like a task would be given by that company based on their projects, and that the candidate have to complete within 4 to 5 weeks of time period, and
Okay.
then they'll get the internship certificate too. So that will add surely to the one who is transitioning into the GRC right now, because internship adds a very important role in the resume.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted.
sorry, to answer.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So to add on one more point for the salary, right? It's all about how you are pitching, how you are enhancing your showcasing your skill set, and the negotiation skills. That's how we can get a high numbers salary with that
Yeah.
organization. There's no fixed number. Yeah, yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Internship would be a remote, and it would be unpaid. It would be the collaboration has happened just to give our candidates an experience of internship, and so that it can be added in their resume. So yes, it would be unpaid one and online. The internship would be given to the one who is getting trained from us, not to the external candidates. Yeah. So as we unknowingly shifted to that conversation, let me take you through the course details or the trainings that we would be providing. Guru would be the trainer, and he would be taking you through the course. I'm sharing my number in the chat box. Maybe you can reach out to me, and this is my WhatsApp number too. whoever is interested, I'll share the course contents with you guys. I'll explain it. I'm not explaining it here in the session right now. There is a different course strategy that we have, so that you can, understand the frameworks, not only the GRC thing, but the different frameworks too, and get to, explore how PCI-DSS is, and ISO 27001, and everything is GDPR. Everything is working, and the duration would be of 3 months. So in these 3 months period, we would be giving you, that kind of teaching learning experience, where you would be getting to know all these compliances and frameworks in one course only. And another thing is this internship thing. We would be also providing you lots of templates and formats for each of the clauses or each of the domains, subdomains that we are looking for in GRC, so that it would be helpful for you when you join somewhere as in GRC analyst or risk analyst. Also, after your course, for your GRC roles, we would be preparing your resumes. We would be preparing you for interviews for sure. And another thing is, after the course, we would be helping you out whenever you would be joining as in GRC analyst or risk analyst. In case you feel any difficulties or you get stuck somewhere during the your role, you can always reach out to us totally free of cost. No, we won't be charging anything. You can reach out to us and we will help you out in your assignments on job. So that is what we would be committing right now. Internship is the bigger thing, and the post course job that we would like to commit for. Yes, these are the details. You can note down and you can reach out to us. And for any other assistance, you can always reach out to us. Guru is there. We are there to help you out and answer your questions. Yeah. Any other questions or anything? Yes, please.
But you're asking, sharing information about which certifications, 27,000 or which one?
For the training?
Yes.
Training would be a general GRC thing. Okay. I'll share the course contents with you. It will not be covering only ISO 27001. It will also cover PCI DSS, GDPR, NIST, and SOX.
Okay, so this is primarily for who are already into IT or cyber security.
No, anybody who would like to, even I'm open for the students who are just passed out or undergraduates and who are into the final year of engineering, because GRC is now open to everybody, even to the undergrads and freshly graduates. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna share the uh, course timeline or content, something like that.
Sure, I'll share.
And will there be any? Who will be the issuing the certificate?
Certificate would be given by us. So see, I'll take you to. I guess there is a confusion. I won't be giving you certification like ISO 27001. LA is there, so there is a certification body who gives certification for LA, right? We are not certification body here, right? We are just a training institute who would be training you, and for the course completion, we would be giving you the certification. If you are looking for specifically for 27001 LI, it is, I have to take you through all the clauses, okay, to understand what is ISO 27001 LI. But here, as in GRC, we would be giving you how ISO 27001 is working, how GDPR, PCI DSS is working for different categories of like risk management, disaster recovery, business continuity management, and all those things. Okay. So you would get to know how these frameworks are working. And when you're facing the interviews, you would be able to answer the questions for these frameworks, though you are transitioning into the GRC for the very first time.
Got it. Got it. Thanks. Yeah. So you will share the training course details through some other medium, or right now, or
Uh,
how we are
Maybe
planning?
you guys can reach out to me on this number. This is my WhatsApp number, and I'll share you one to one. Also, request training post. Yes. Email ID, if you could provide here right now, I'll just note it down and I'll, share the details on the email IDs too. That would also be. So, yeah. Any other question, please?
I'll share with you one to one.
Yes, sure, sure. Anything from our side, please let us
That's it for me. Thank you.
know.
I would leave now. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stopping my screen.
And any questions, guys? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Guru. I'll end meeting for everyone.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.